Have you ever wondered what happened to the deadliest hitman employed by one of the most infamous drug lords in history? Today, we will be examining the current whereabouts of these merciless killers and explore the motivations behind their deadly actions. Pablo Escobar's army of sicarios, including Popeye, Quica, and Blackie, were devoted only to him, and their names are infamous in the world of organized crime. In this video, we will delve deeper into their backgrounds and discover the shocking truth about their deadly actions. Pablo Escobar, known as the Boss, is believed to be the world's most significant drug trafficker. He reportedly controlled 80% of global cocaine smuggling at one point, with an empire that delivered 15 tons of cocaine, valued at nearly $500 million to the US each day. Escobar also commanded an army of merciless killers known as sicarios, who were devoted only to him. The best known of these sicarios were Popeye, Quica, and Blackie, whom fans of the popular Netflix series Narcos may recognize. Now, our first subject is Popeye, whose seemingly innocent name belies his true nature. Born John Jairo Velasquez, he earned his nickname due to his prominent jaw, which he later corrected with surgery. Velasquez's story begins in Yaramul, Antioquia, Colombia, where he once served in the Colombian National Army before joining the cadet school of the National Police. It's startling to learn that a trained assassin like Velasquez was once a member of an organization established to safeguard the public. Let's delve deeper into the background of this individual. Initially, he was affiliated with the School of NCOs of the Colombian Navy, but later enrolled in the National Police Academy for a brief period. During his time there, he studied the art of precision shooting, perfecting his technique to the point where his victims were unable to react before being fatally wounded. His expertise in this area enabled him to take the lives of at least 257 individuals, as he freely admitted. It is unknown how many more people he may have killed without confessing. In addition, he was involved in numerous kidnappings, including those of regular citizens, as well as high-profile figures like Francisco Santos, a mayoral candidate. He also abducted and killed several prominent politicians in Colombia, indicating that no one, regardless of their status, was safe from his deadly prowess. Discovering the number of people he murdered might shock you, but brace yourself for the realization that he also orchestrated 3,000 successful killings. This hitman, although psychotic, is often regarded as a mastermind in planning, even when it comes to taking lives. It's not something to admire or draw inspiration from, though. The individual, known as Popeye, has since passed away. In a foreign interview, Juan spoke fondly about his first kill at 17. He felt a sense of justice when he murdered a bus driver who caused the death of a close friend's mother. He also reminisced about his encounter with Pablo. Juan had a surprising past, having once worked for Pablo's mistress before landing a job with him. His criminal record was extensive, serving 30-year sentences for charges including murder, extortion, terrorism, and drug trafficking. Despite being released in 2014, he was re-incarcerated for extortion. His life was marked by constant prison stints until he died of stomach cancer. Interestingly, he also ran a YouTube channel, recounting his life as a brutal killer. Even he wasn't immune to cancer, with an 80% chance of being killed by a former gang member, according to him. Moving on to the second assassin employed by the world's deadliest drug lord, we have Quica, also known as Endeni Minoz Mosquera. Quica is widely regarded as the most merciless and ferocious of Pablo's hired killers. He initially joined the Colombian army, but was discharged after being accused of minor theft charges. Quica then joined the Medellin cartel, where he quickly rose to prominence and became an expert in torture. His nickname, which means "fat girl," was given to him due to his resemblance to his aunt. Liquida was not only a trusted hitman for Pablo, but he also trained children to become skilled assassins. He was known for carving KK on his victims as proof of his work and was rumored to have skinned and castrated some. His upbringing was humble, as his father was a policeman and his mother was an evangelist. He had ties to the church in his early life. Despite his background, Liquida excelled in his role and was highly regarded for his expertise. For a significant period, the U.S. had been pursuing him, but their hands were tied due to lack of jurisdiction. Nevertheless, everything changed after the Avilanca flight bombing in 1989. Pablo Escobar was known for his dramatic gestures, including wiping out an entire bus or plane for the offense of a single informant. To carry out the airplane bombing, he hired Liquida. The 1-hour flight abruptly ended when the airplane exploded mid-air, resulting in the tragic death of all 101 passengers on board. The fatal incident included 2 American nationals, and as a result, the United States pursued Liquida as a suspect. Liquida became the first person convicted under the 1956 federal law, which banned bombing a civilian aircraft. Additionally, he was the first person to be prosecuted under the 1986 terrorism statute, which authorized the U.S. justice system to put foreign offenders on trial when American fatalities were involved. The United States linked Liquida to 220 killings, and the Colombian government linked him to over 440. Despite the lack of formal charges by the Colombian government, Liquida was captured and brought to trial in 1994. He was eventually convicted and given a sentence of 10 life terms and 45 years to be served successively. Currently, Liquida remains imprisoned in the same facility as the notorious Unabomber. During a prison interview, Liquida shockingly refuted all allegations of wrongdoing. The individual responsible, Nelson Hernandez, also known as Blackie, was born in Colombia and earned his moniker due to his African heritage. As a trusted and long-term associate of Pablo, he served as both a guard and assassin for the ruthless drug lord. Although Nelson had a reputation for being a bully, Pablo had enough trust in him to allow him to spend time with him and feel secure in their surroundings. Unfortunately, Nelson was notorious for carrying out assassinations and killings on behalf of Escobar without hesitation, which ultimately proved to be a flawed approach. During his time working for Escobar, Nelson abducted Felix Gallardo, Miguel Angel, and Isabella Bastista in Cali and transported them to Escobar's residency in Medellin. Additionally, he assisted Pablo by assassinating Colombian judges and destroying all evidence held against him in a few difficult situations. Pablo exercised control over Nelson and even ordered him to assassinate cartel leader Kiko Moncada. During the 1993 bombing at the Bogota shipping center, Escobar heavily relied on Blackie, who placed 220 pounds of C4 plastic explosives in a car located in a shopping center. The bombing caused the death of more than 20 individuals and almost 70 people were left injured, making Blackie an essential figure for Escobar. As he watched the television footage of the aftermath of the attack and saw the deaths of innocent people, Hernandez began to feel remorse for his actions and expressed his apology to God. The loss of children and women made him realize that Escobar's behavior was becoming increasingly unstable. Fearing for his safety, he made up a false story about catching a glimpse of his wife, Maria Hernan, and daughter Manuela in a hotel window to avoid being forced by Escobar to stay put until he saw them. Nevertheless, as he exited the payphone, law enforcement apprehended him, and he was questioned by the DEA. Instead of facing severe consequences for his role in the bombing, he divulged information about Juan Diego Diaz to agents Javier Pena and Steve Murphy, leading to the search of Block's operation on Monte Cassino. As we come to the end of our examination of the deadliest hitmen in the world of drug trafficking, it's hard not to feel a sense of unease and disgust at the atrocities they committed in the name of their bosses. The stories of Popeye and Liquida are a stark reminder of the brutal reality of drug cartels and the inhumane acts that they perpetrated in pursuit of power and money. But their stories are also cautionary tales, highlighting the dangerous consequences of a life of crime and violence. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we hope that you have gained some insight into the dark world of drug trafficking and the consequences that follow. Let us know your thoughts on today's video in the comments section below. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more informative videos here at Criminal Records, and we'll see you in the next video.